You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back to Cabral Concept. I'm Stephen Cabral, and today on our Friday review, we're looking at, of course, our best of the best. So one of the things that I thought would be interesting to talk with you about is how I set up not only the instruments I use in my practice for when I do my in-office tests, but also some of the things that I use at home with my own family. So today's concept is really kind of taking control of your health, taking control of your family's health, and how you can go about doing that very, very simply. So the first thing I'm going to review is the different thermometers you can use at home. There's many different types, many different varieties. Here's the one that I use in my practice. It's a standard hospital-based thermometer. It's going to take your temperature. And so what we're looking at, this is a Welch Allen, and all it is you're going to pull out the top, and you're simply going to insert one of the plastic tubes to the top, and you're going to be able to put it under the back left corner of your tongue. I just always do back left. You can do back right. Same place every single time. What it's going to do is once it's in place, it's going to give you that readout in less than 10 seconds. It's highly accurate. It's an excellent one. The one I'm using right now is Sure Temp Plus. We'll link this up in the show notes so that you can get the exact one that I use if you'd like for your practice. Every time you're done with it, you just shoot it off and you're done. Pops right back in, turns off all by itself. All right, so this one's obviously a little bit more expensive, right? So you may not have to get this one or even want to get it if it's just for you and your family, but it's super convenient, really easy to use. You just buy these replacement boxes right here for the actual plastic covers that go over. Now the second one is one that I buy and test out a ton of different products. And the reason is I want to find out what's the best, and I can recommend the best for you as well. But I also want the best in my own practice and the best for my own family. This one right here is by Exergen. It's a temporal scanner. So basically you take the cap off and you're going to scan directly across your forehead right to your temple. The issue with this is sometimes it's hard to keep your kids sitting still to do it. And also I find there's such a huge variation in actual temperature readout that it doesn't give me consistent results, and I need consistent results every time. So unfortunately, I no longer use this. Some people might get great results with it and then they really like it, and that's great for you if it's something that you want to use in your own practice or just with your own family. Now, here's what I do use at home. So we use it's a Braun, and it's a thermoscan, and it goes right in your ear. So what we're going to do is we just press this button right here. That's going to turn it on. We're going to press the start button in the back, and if you're just listening to this on podcast, you can watch the video in the show notes, or simply understand that when you're using the air-based thermometer, it's going to give you the readout as well within about 5 seconds or so, and it's pretty accurate. It really is. I mean, again, like I'll test it, I'll have my wife test it, and then we'll have our daughter test it if she's running a fever or whatever it might be, and you'll see that there's direct variations in all three of us. And again, my wife and I might have very close readings. Usually you're not going to get two people that are 98.6 because that's not even the natural variance of a normal temperature in the first place. It's just somewhere in the 98s. 97 would be different reasons as well. That's not necessarily healthy. I won't go into that. And then the 99s and above is going to be some type of issue that we need to take care of. So this is really easy. Our daughters now actually enjoy just putting their ear at all times and taking their temperature. So if you get your kids used to it, then it's easier when it comes time to actually taking their temperature, because of course they're probably going to be a little bit more irritable at that time. So get them just playing with it and using it on their own. It's easy. This comes with plastic caps as well to use every single time so that you're not trading air bacteria. All right, those are our thermometers. And the next is, we'll just do a simple one. This is more just to test oxygen-based readings. It's an oximeter. I use it in my practice. The reason why you might use it is simply, if you're feeling run down, those types of things, you can check your oxygen levels, but it also gives you a quick heart rate readout. So you might want to see your beats per minute. And all you have to do is take this, place it right on your index finger, and you're going to, with the reading side up, and you're going to be able to see what your oxygen levels are. You're shooting for a 98 or 99, 100% saturation in your blood, and that will also give you your heart rate. Very, very simple, very straightforward, just kind of an add-on. It's a fun one to do. Anyone dealing with weight loss issues, or they're dealing with, let's say, hormone in general issues, or they're dealing with blood sugar-based issues, this right here is fantastic. All it is, a blood sugar glucometer. We're using one True to Go. I literally must have gone through at least a half a dozen before I found one that gave consistent, accurate readings. So this one right here is one that I really like. It comes in its own carrying case, True to Go glucometer. You want to take your fasting blood sugar level every single morning right when you wake up. You want to make sure that it's a 95 or below. If it's not under 100 at least, then you're having issues dealing with lowering your blood sugar, potentially issues with producing enough insulin to pull that sugar into the cells and tissues itself, or potential issues with the producing enough insulin, but the receptors being blocked, not able to get the sugar into the tissues and cells where they belong. So that's one that I do use a lot actually, and just for overall health, is making sure that if you're pre-diabetic, you're type 2 diabetic, or even if you're type 1, that you're always moving yourself back to really healthy blood sugar. And you want to talk about one of the biggest things for anti-aging is making sure that when you wake up in the morning that your blood sugar is somewhere around 75 to 95, and that's just the number that you're going to see as a readout on that actual glucometer. And if it's normal, then great. What you can do is you can test it 2 hours, 3 hours after a meal, where it should be also below 100 as well. So awesome tool to use. And the last one that I'm going to recommend is a blood pressure cuff. So this one is by Omron. This is a great company. I've been using this brand for at least a decade, probably more. And it's an automatic cuff. So what you're gonna do is you can purchase the cuff comes with it. This is just for average size arm. I think it's somewhere between like maybe 9-inch arm and like 18 inches arm. But you can get a large cuff, or you can also buy a child's cuff as well. All you do is you place this on your left arm. You're going to be in a seated position. You can also test lying and standing. We're not going to go over that today as well. About 1 inch up from where your elbow bends, and you're just going to go over that brachial artery, and you're going to be able to just literally press the start button. That's all you have to do. It's going to take your blood pressure, but the other thing is it's going to give you your beats per minute again. Just going to give you your heart rate, and it can see what type of stress your body is under. A blood pressure reading above 130 over 85 or so is going to be trending towards higher blood pressure. Over 135 over 90 is going to be considered high blood pressure. Okay, now there's obviously different levels to that. And then blood pressure for me, below, let's say 105, and then the diastolic, the lower number, and let's say that's below 70, then we're really looking at low blood pressure based issues. And in my practice, low blood pressure tells me something just as much as high blood pressure does. Typically that lower blood pressure, the body's more worn out, it's more depleted of electrolytes, adrenal glands or the adrenal system, the HPA axis, isn't functioning as it should be, and because aldosterone is mostly thrown off, cortisol levels thrown off. Again, you don't need to know that, but you can obviously tell that your body is not functioning. It doesn't have the same get up and go. Your blood pressure's low. You're going to feel you're going to feel low. You might feel a little depressed, a little worn out, a little depleted, a little bit of brain fog with that low blood pressure. And if your blood pressure starts to rise to normal levels, hopefully then means you're on the mend, you're doing better. And then if your blood pressure is high, that means you're too constricted, too tight, too potentially anxious, high blood pressure, all of those things that lead to that. And of course, that's dangerous. We don't want that, so we want to make sure that gets lowered as well. Doing an AM reading as well as a before bed or nighttime reading, two great ways to look at that. So these are some of the things that I use in my own practice. Very small things you can use right at your own home and be able to test for a wide variety of issues going on internally in your own body and how to correct those at a deeper level. We'll link up every single product that I talked about today and probably even more right in the show notes. So hopefully those answers some of those questions on how to take better control of your own health, and I'm back real soon on another Cabral concept.
Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.